Morning, y'all. What a morning, Coach. Oh, strapped in. I bought you some sweets. I just saw some sweets and I thought of you.
What are they?
I bought you some of these.
Oh, some polos.
But I haven't seen polos for years, and I thought
ones.
they're quite old man-y polos, aren't they? I thought you'd like them.
Then aren't they for him then? Pins are out, look.
So, how are your journey students going, Matthew?
I've got 5 like you.
Yeah.
4 being cut.
Cool.
3 shots, 1 shot, 3 and 2.
Very good.
1 doesn't have a handicap, just wants to
Get
better.
A handicap.
And get a handicap, I think.
So what's the biggest take home for you from what you've done? Because you've never taught like that before, have 5 students only that
It's great.
Are they texting you? Like, have you given them?
Yeah, they've got my number. They're sending me messages like weekly and 2-3 times a week probably.
Yeah.
Updating me, practicing this week, practicing every night. Someone is there chipping and stuff, which is great.
Asking questions as well?
Questions, yeah, videos being sent and things like that. But yeah, it's just great to see them trying so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. Like, they've committed, they want to practice, they want to get better. Like, it's great, so good.
And obviously if you had a full book of students, like, you know, you got 50 different students coming in and out, and you know, ones that come for a lesson and you don't see them again, you wouldn't give that amount of people your contact details to be contacting you, would you? No. So by having a committed amount for a group of time, definitely for the coach is more manageable. Would you say?
Yeah, 100%. Like, guys that come and disappear again, like, you never know what they're actually doing. You tell them all this stuff, but are they going to go away and practice it?
Yeah.
Like, they might have a bad session and then they go, oh, I was better when I did that. But these guys are like sticking with the stuff that we're telling them, sending them down a route. Try it. Go for it. If you're struggling, we'll go down a different one. It's all cool, isn't it?
So then it's better for you, but you think it's better for them as well?
Yeah, for both parties, I think.
Because there's a commitment.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's great. And to see such, I've had 1 lesson with each of them and 2 with 2 students, and to see like progress so quickly is always
rewarding.
Rewarding, and makes you feel good as well, doesn't it, as a coach, which is great.
And I love it as well for myself. I love being able to commit to them and not be off and not being able to respond to them, which is exactly the same as what you're saying there. Just having those 5 people that I can commit to, when they've got a question, I can answer it, makes me feel better about charging them for a service. I feel like I'm giving them a much better, fuller service.
You get lessons as well that you'll tell them something and you'll go, do you understand that? Do you want me to explain it differently? They go, yeah, I understand. And you think, you didn't understand. And I want to explain it again, but you've just said yes, and now I can't.
You've run out of time.
But then these guys will probably go away and go, can you remind me of what that meant?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course I can.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Brilliant.
Nearly topped it.
You topped that then.
Would have got clapped by yourself then, wouldn't you?
My young self.
Yeah.
Good job, Mark. Thanks, Mark. So what have you thought, oh lovely, about, because it's quite a different style of teaching, isn't it, because of the facility. We're doing it at Torquay as well with your journey students. I know I've loved being able to get the indoor data out on the course, chipping and putting all worked in as well. For me, it's really shown that just range-based lessons have a place, but they're so hollow at the same time.
Being able to take what you teach them out on the course is like massive eye-opener, isn't it? Like how limited some of their skills are. And how much they've still got to progress, basically, which is where you teach them one skill, they might use that skill 5 times around now, and then they don't hit it in the woods or whatever it might be. Bit of course management as well, just getting out there and seeing what you do in that studio and on the course. I mean, and that's where people coming for 1 lesson disappearing, being able to get on the course with them, you approach it slightly differently. So forget that technique now, because you're in the rough, you just want to connect with it and put the right speed on it. Don't try and do the things we're talking about, because it's pointless. But people are probably disappearing away from a lesson, trying to do the same thing from all places, which that's not what golf is about, is it? It's
Absolutely. I mean, I've said it loads of times. I aim my rinky dinks in a different place to where I aim my 5-iron, and they're one club away from each other on distance. My 5-iron, I'll aim up the left to slightly cut it. Most of the rinky dinks, I'm straight to slightly at the right to slightly draw it. And that's stepping just one club up. When you get on a flat mat with a launch monitor, yes, I think for tee shots it's all decent because their tee shots are going to be relatively standard. But even still, then I found holes where they're just not aiming up the left for the way the slope of they can't see the slope of the fairway. They're just not reading that. And they hit decent shots like Persian. You think, well, that's in the trees, and they think, oh, that wasn't that bad. Yeah, you just not aimed in the right place. Like, we'd never do that indoors.
Because it's funny as well, like they come for a lesson, you go in the studio, they've got half decent numbers, and you think, how are you off 18?
Yeah, but absolutely.
Get on the course, downhill lie, fat, thin. Oh,
that's where it is.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't see myself going back and doing any other kind of lessons.
Nope.
Like, that's changed for me.
Yeah.
And now hopefully my students, that's just how I do it. I need that facility. I need indoors, I want outdoors, I want chipping, I want putting, and I want commitment. My side commitment, their side commitment. One.
What are you going to hit?
I could hit any of these.
Alright, give it a good old whack.
Okay, alright.
Don't hit me.
Alright.
You inherited a shot here.
So my journey students, I've got Aidan. He's got cut from 16 I think to 15, but is on the way back up, so we need to try and stop that. Chris, he's come down 2 or 3 shots. Got Guy, who's gone from 6 to 5.4, which is the lowest he's ever been, and into category 1. That makes me really proud. Also got Michael, who's struggling to get that handicap down, sticking around 12 but working really hard. And then I've got Alexis, who hasn't got a handicap but wants to establish his kind of around 9 handicap, which is his society handicap. The biggest thing for me is the communication that is continuous, that I'm loving. I'm loving the fact that they're able to share with me consistently their concerns and the things they're really enjoying. Similar to Matt's point, I think just that kind of lesson and go away left to your own devices, even though it's essential on a business model kind of standpoint for most pros, because let's be blunt, it is about getting people through. There needs to be some kind of conveyor beltness for you to have it cheap enough and for them to still earn a living. But for me, having the committed 5 and being able to communicate back and forth makes me feel that I'm giving them such a better service still. Not only to learn from, but also to help them with their concerns, while at the same time help them understand that that feeling that is maybe slightly different to what we talked about in their minds is actually okay for them to do and keep trying to push forward with. Last one was a bit thin. And like I said earlier, I don't think I would do lessons in any other way. Again, this isn't going to work for everyone. You have the business model element, always is going to have to play its role, its part, isn't it? But I'm loving seeing between the lessons, chatting between the lessons. The lessons aren't really that different apart from the on-course bit that does give you more of a reality check on if you are fixing them or not, because the flat bay is so false in some ways, but also a necessary kind of part of the learning process. Because I think any coach will tell you that bit between the sessions is such a dangerous part where people can go off on tangents, get things very mixed up as they try to kind of get everything working in their heads. Oh, yeah. My students are already halfway through the journey. I'm very happy with where they're going. I want to help them more. There's a couple that I feel I'm not letting them down, but maybe letting them down. I want them to be so much better than they are because I know they can do it, but we'll find a way. And that's the beauty of having that dedicated time, I think. So post comments down below, let me know what your thoughts are on the journey. Is it something you'd be interested in doing with a kind of coach of your own? Do you think lessons could be loads better, or the way you work with your coach, seeing them when you want, not really communicating between, is the way you prefer to do it. Put those comments down below, hit the thumbs up button. As always, loads more coming from the journey this week. I've got 3 or 4 of them in this week, so you'll get some videos seeing where they are as well. I'm loving it. Thanks for watching. The journey continues.